Now today we're going to be talking about the most broken team in Blue Lock, and that is PXG. After looking at this roster on paper, this roster should not be allowed. This team has been severely quiet, and Blue Lock is doing this on purpose to showcase their full skill when we see them go against Moonchen. I can't believe PXG was able to get the players that they have on the squad, and this roster looks like a complete team of dominance. First we have Rin and Shido. Now these two could not link up at all during the second selection as their compatibility was completely off. They both play with two completely different playstyles and think differently, so they always end up getting in the way of each other. They are both dominant scorers who want the ball in their hands at all times and go for the goal at will each time. Now as for how PXG is able to make these two link up is actually insane. I don't know how they would do it, but we could see a new version of these two being able to play together. I can't believe the top two players of Blue Lock are on the same team. If they found a way to work together on this team, then PXG is unstoppable as no one can match the intensity of Rin and Shido. That offensive aggressive style is probably what PXG is about, just like Moonchen. We've already seen a glimpse of Rin and Shido and their match against Ubers, and we know that Rin scored 2 goals whereas Shido scored 1 goal. These two could be battling it out for the spotlight of the team and devouring each other like how Asagi and Kaiser are currently right now. That's the only way I could see these two being able to work on the same team. They completely despise each other during the third selection and are now on the same team. This team with these two is already a stacked squad, and now we have to get on to the rest. Now for who I think is probably the cornerstone and key piece for PXG is Karasu. It was already confirmed that Karasu is the midfielder for PXG, and that makes perfect sense as he was also the midfielder during the under 20 match. Karasu has really great insight and can spot weaknesses in players and go after the weak links to pick up one. He's also a very vocal leader and knows how to command a team. I think he could be the reason of how Shido and Rin are able to coexist with his expert knowledge. Karasu is also a very great goal scorer as well, and he was the third best player going into the third selection, and his skills have been shadowed a bit by other players now, but PXG has the top 3 players of Blue Lock going before the under 20 match. This is something that I feel goes unnoticed as PXG is still not talked about too much because we don't know how the other games are going currently. Karasu's role as midfielder could be to help keep Shido and Rin in line and as well be the leader of the team to make faster decisions and fill in the gaps when needed to. This team is unstoppable if Karasu can maintain his role as midfielder while also elevating Rin and Shido. Now we have a very sleeper player, and that is Tokimitsu. Now we only really seen Tokimitsu during the second selection, and he has really good quickness and a very strong body. Tokimitsu was an early top 3 player after the second selection 100 goals test, and we really did not see too much from him after. I think Tokimitsu could be a sleeper player for this team, and we have not seen him for a while, so this makes sense. He was really good in the second selection, and when he was confident, he could do it all. His quickness and strength are amazing, and he could very well be in the starter lineup as well. Tokimitsu was able to pair with Rin very well in the second selection, and I think that chemistry will work once again on this team. Now we have Zantetsu. Now Zantetsu is known for being an idiot, but when he was with Ryo and Nagi, they really turned him into a superstar. If Zantetsu is used the right way, he can easily become an incredible player. He has the fastest acceleration in Blue Lock and a really good shot once he's near the penalty area. Being trained under Logi will serve Zantetsu immensely as they have similar playstyles, and Zantetsu can learn from Logi who will show him how to maximize his speed even more. I could see Zantetsu even learning Godspeed from Loki as they both make long strides with their legs to move. Zantetsu would definitely play, and I'm curious to see his improvement as we have not seen him for a very long time. His capabilities could shake things up, and we could see a new type of Zantetsu that has not been shown before. We're getting to see him a lot more in the episode Nagi manga spinoff, and he was right there with Nagi and Ryo in terms of skill at the time. We also know that he wants to be the world's most esteemed moron. Next we have an unknown player who's been getting a lot of buzz recently, and this guy is named Chappie on PXG. He was first seen in the panel with Rin kicking the game-winning goal against Ubers, and in this panel we see Chappie in the front being guarded by IQ. Now everyone speculates that Chappie is a new Gen 11 player because he is not sweating at all in this panel, and it was a close game that went to a 3-2 score. This is the only panel we have seen of PXG in a match, and there are a lot of clues that are not shown yet. Like where are Lorenzo and Snuffy? It could be that Lorenzo had to guard another good player and slipped up, or maybe Snuffy's master request time limit was over, or that Snuffy was guarding Loki who also could have came into the game. This is why I feel like PXG is the most broken team in the NEL. In this panel we have Rin and Shido who are also free on their own. That means these 3 players were able to dismantle Uber's defense on their own. Chappie could be the player who was able to initiate all of that as he looks more like a facilitator rather than a scorer. Chappie also has Shido and Rin at his disposal, so we can see how he utilizes both of them. This mystery character will be revealed eventually, and we can see if he's actually a new Gen 11. PXG were the top 3 players from Blue Lock and a new Gen 11 and Loki as a striker. This squad looks unbeatable. Now we have Loki, who we've already seen play for a second, and he completely dominated in his debut. Loki's the same age as everyone in Blue Lock, and his skills have been shown to be far superior than everyone else, including the new Gen 11. He is already considered a world-class player and plays for France's national team, the same team that Noel Noah also plays for. Loki is a rising star and definitely the person to beat for Blue Lock to become the greatest in the world. Now Loki being a master is a very unique fact. He's only 17 years old, but is coaching other 16 and 17 year olds. His teachings could be a lot different than the other master strikers who all are older and have different types of experience. I feel that Loki is meant to be a big hurdle for Blue Lock since he is the same age as them. In the panel where he's introduced as a master, we see Rin and Shido look at him with two different types of emotion. I think Rin and Shido know just how important being near Loki is and just what France can do for them. France has been known to be a gateway to success for newcomers and young players. It makes sense for Rin and Shido to go into this type of environment. It might be the closest thing to actually achieving the title of world's best. France is in a great spot to become the greatest in the world. Now the biggest question is, what will Loki's philosophy of PXG be for this team? France is the only one that doesn't give a flat out description of how their teams operate usually. I think PXG's philosophy will be the closest thing to Blue Lock's philosophy, scoring goals at the expense of your own teammates. The only way I could see Rin and Shido working together is if they both get their chance to score in an aggressive style offense that allows both of them to get the ball at certain times. They are both goal hungry animals and can score mercilessly at will. Loki probably already knows this, and instead of hindering one another, he creates a system where they both get opportunities to score and create their own control of the team as the main striker. They probably run a 2-forward style offense with Rin and Shido at the front, and then adjust their style as winning game, causing an uncontrollable, chaotic team. Their style will be the closest and most similar to Moon Chen's style of play, where they also have 2 forwards in the front, and Asagi also being the right midfielder who comes in to score as well. Now PXG has many offensive units outside of Rin and Shido, so there could be others who make a move in their team as well that wasn't shown during the Ubers match. This is all just a theory and speculation, but it would seem convincing for this egotistical philosophy to be incorporated into PXG. Loki could end up being the most egotistical player on the planet. He was very nice and humble in the beginning, and then immediately flipped the switch and wanted to hit the showers early. He had no weaknesses and saw many openings that seemed too easy. He's the ultimate icon of reaching the world's best at a young age, the true definition of a prodigy. PXG's gateway to young players is exactly the path that many would want to take to go there, and it would be great to see Rin and Shido find a way to work together and be the dominant team that PXG is allowing them to be in. In conclusion, this team is definitely the most broken team in the NEL. The mystery and secrets behind them is what makes me believe that Moon Chen vs PXG will truly be one of the best matches in Blue Lock ever. The build up between Rin and Asagi's long lasting rivalry is what counts here, and the unbelievable battles that were foreshadowed and will be coming soon. I mean, we have Kunigami and Shido, Karasu and Hiyori, Asagi and Loki, Asagi and Karasu. So many different battles that will occur during that match that will shock the world and turn Asagi into the greatest striker in Blue Lock, coming out as a champion. Let me know how you guys feel how PXG will be, and will they showcase dominance or will they be overhyped? Well, I thank you guys for watching the video. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll be back in the next one. Peace.